Hey everyone, welcome back to the old family farm. So good to be back here. Oh, love the old family farm. Oftentimes I think, man, why am I only doing this once a week for goodness sakes? But it works out well, I think, for everybody and for the channel. We're gonna stick with Throwback Thursdays. Of course, we do have our occasional Sunday editions, so there's that. But it's good to be back here on the old family farm. Not really sure exactly. I always say this, I know, but not really sure exactly where we left off. I'm pretty sure we had a lot of weeding to do. I did some weeding off camera there, and I brought our Ford over with our weeder because this bad boy needs to finish up weeding this field. So why don't we get a course play course going here right quick and see if we can't figure that out. That looks good. It looks like it selected the correct field. It did. I'm so glad. Multiple tools is 1. Number of headlands, yeah, I don't care. We can do 3. That's fine. We want sharp corners. We like our corners to be nice and sharp and tidy. Let's generate a course. Let's take a little peek ski. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It didn't do the right field, did it? It did that field over there. Oh, Brad. I knew it didn't look right. All right, let's try it again. Let's try it again. Course play. Course play. That's the field. Why is my... Oh, well, Brad, pick the right field. How about we start with that little idea there. Okay, this is not working the way I planned it to. There. Oh, there we go. All right, that all looks good. We can generate that. Let's get out of here. There we go. You were cheering me on. I know you were. You were like, "Come on, you can do it, Brad. You can do one of the simplest things in the game. You can do it." All right. Who do we have today? Oh, some dude straight out of Office Space. It looks like. Great. Yeah, you don't look too farmerish to me, especially not Dust Bowl farmerish. But I guess you'll. That'd be cool if you could change the outfits of your hired helper. See, now that is something Giants could do on another release, on their next release, is allow you to pick maybe like a style for your hired helpers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want them to be 1950s or 1960s through 80s, you know, but have the clothing appropriate. You know, this dude is wearing a pair of stinking khakis and a button-up collared shirt. Come on. You know, come on. Come on. Not cool. Actually, he looks a lot like this guy I know at work. That's what that dude would look like on a old Ford tractor, huh? Yeah, he looks about as anal there as he does at work. Alright, that's kind of mean. Alright. I'll get out of your way, buddy. Alright, so we are going to get this field weeded. I think we are going to grab the little guy. A little Massey here. I took the liberty of windrowing up our straw. Our corn straw. Sorry, doggy. From our last episode, from our corn harvest.
Welcome, partner.
Welcome, partner. Let's feed our pooch. Give him a little food to eat. There you go, buddy. So we can pick up some straw here for a bit. So I've been thinking, what are we going to do to kind of advance the farm a little bit? Do something, you know, besides the same old, right? I did look into corn drying. I didn't forget, actually, believe it or not. I normally do, but I actually remembered to look for corn dryers. And I honestly could not find a corn drying mod that fits. Ooh, that did not. What did I do? I hit the wrong key. That's what I did. That fits our map in this region. So we're just going to have to put the kibosh on for now on the idea of corn grind. I don't really know unless you have any other ideas on what we can do with the corn. We're just going to end up selling it when it comes into the time to sell. Now, I did come across a couple other ideas, though. You know, a couple other ideas. Let me share those with you, actually, real quickly. So, we will continue to purchase land as we can afford it. I do want to get more cows. I know we doubled our cows. Now we have 20. I actually wouldn't mind doubling it again. End up with a good 40 count. And we could probably do that pretty soon. But, what I was looking at, let's see if I can find it. Where was I? I probably won't be able to find it now. I can't, why don't I? Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's go over here. So there's this little farm over here, right? This guy right here. This guy right here is a sheep pen. And when we buy this land, and the land I think is only like 10 grand. Yeah, 10,029. And you buy this here land, and we can put sheep in here, but they're not just regular sheep. They're like little goats and stuff. They're what am I looking for? They're unique. They're modded animals. They look pretty sweet, actually. I was pretty surprised. So I think this is going to be our next purchase. Is going to be this farm here. Hello, little chicken. I don't know if that does anything else. I don't think it does. I think it just frees us up to use this sheep pen. Of course, we'd have access now to the house, which she's a beaut. Actually, oh, got some stuff in there too. Yeah, a little kitchen action and stuff. Oh, close to the train. Train's right over there, I think. Somewhere over there. So yeah, that's the idea. What do y'all think? I mean, I think it'd be good to get some different animals going. Figure why not? Give us something more to feed and worry about. I didn't really pay attention to what their needs would be. I should have probably done that. I'm gonna guess they're gonna be like other maps where you can give them hay or straw. I'm sorry, grass, mostly. I doubt they'll require straw, but we have plenty of grass to go around, so I don't think we'd have any problems there. And they're cute. I think there's some baby ones, and then there's grown-up ones, and what the heck? I guess I missed a corn stalk. Didn't really realize that until just now. Outside of my attention. Yeah, just one lonely stalk. Wow, okay. I swear I got them all last time too. Look at that thing sitting there, all withered and nasty. So this isn't gonna really get us much money, but it seems in this on this map, it seems silly to not take advantage of any opportunities we have to earn some extra cash. We are in hard mode. We don't have a lot of, well, we have really very little, zero regular income. We have honey coming. We've got eggs. We've got some beef cattle. I know I don't have access. Tell me something I don't know. But we really don't have a great deal. The greenhouses too, don't we? We should break in some coin on the greenhouses, I'm hoping this year. They're coming up over the winter, I think, January, February time frame, I think. So hopefully we'll see some money rolling in. We owe the bank 10 grand. I hate to take another $10,000 loan out for that property. I'd rather either pay the bank off 10 grand and borrow another 10 grand or something, you know, along those lines. Pretty sure you pay an interest on that money too, which doesn't help us. Don't want Bubba showing up at our doorstep with a Louisville Slugger looking for their money. Speaking of Bubba, he hasn't been spotted in quite a while. Not exactly sure what's going on there. Rumor has it that he may have also been taken by the federal government. Rumor has it that he may have gone himself to try and locate and retrieve Betty Lou and Tiny. Always rumors abound. So we'll have to wait and see what exactly comes of this. But right now, hey, I'm enjoying freedom. I'm enjoying easy access to the store. There hasn't been, I guess the biggest downside has been the lack of reportable news. We figured out now that about 80% of the Old Family Farm Gazette news involved Betty Lou and Tiny in one way or another. And with them being gone, well, there's really not much to report on. They were either making news or making up news, and either way you look at it, well, they're not here. So that kind of stinks. So I think of all the things that we miss about them is the daily news is now, well, it's actually not even daily. It's more of a bi-weekly kind of whenever it comes out kind of publication. And it still only costs 10 cents, so not too shabby. But it's getting to the point where they're making stuff up, you know, like, and some of it's not very nice. Mary Jane, rotten, oh man, oh boy, I gotta be careful. Mary Jane, crab apple, that's where I was going with it. They said that she just had twins the other week, which is fine, but they said that they were monkey twins. Now, that's just me. Mary Jane Crabapple did not have monkeys for twins. They are regular, beautiful little babies. They stopped by last night to show her a little chilling off, and we saw them for our own eyes, and they are certainly not monkeys. And this is the kind of stuff you end up getting with these small town newspapers. People just start making things up when there's nothing to report on, you know. Right now so like I said, about 75-80% of the news used to be about Tiny or Betty Lou. They're gone, so now 75-80% of the newspaper is just like ads. And there's this new editorial that is anonymously done, conveniently anonymous, and it's just, you know, heavy government conspiracy and just all kinds of craziness. They're talking about the possibility of some alien craft that crashed in Roswell and all this stuff, and it's silly. Some other dude wrote in to get the editor's perspective on flat Earth. Yeah, these are the kind of things people come up with when they're bored, and I must say it's at least entertaining. It's at least entertaining. So what are we getting? About 300 bucks a load? I guess it's still worth it, you know. Like I say, it's the stuff, at least if it pays for, you know, our hired help, that says something. If it pays for property tax and our bank loan, then we're staying ahead of the game a little bit. So I have I've been looking at this. Have you all looked at this? Oh, what's it called? GPT or something like that. This AI that you can go have conversations with. Kind of creepy, if I'm not lying. If you haven't tried it, check it out. I think it's like GPT or GPN or something like that. You know what? I might be able to do a quick find out right now. But I'll tell you, it's weird. It's creepy and it's weird. And let's see. I don't lose my driving if I can read and GPT. Get on the windrow, Brad. I didn't spend a lot of time with it the other day. I did spend a little bit of time with it just to get kind of a sense of what it's all about. And I can tell you that it makes you feel like it makes you feel like we're not too far away from some. Well, we already have pretty advanced AI, but yeah, we're talking ex machina kind of stuff going on. It's kind of weird. And if you haven't seen that movie, it's a pretty good movie. I highly suggest if you're at all interested in kind of a sci-fi drama movie. Ex Machina is definitely worth a watch. And of course, I've been behind the times as usual. I see Giants has announced the first DLC that will be coming out here in 2023, which is the Gigabyte pack. I've heard it pronounced many different ways already, and that's fine. Pronounce it the way you want. I checked with my German friend at work. His brother lives in Austria. He's been to Austria many times. Speaks German is his first language actually, and English is second, even though he speaks English very well. And I asked him to pronounce it for me, and he said it's Gigabyte, like good vile, but just Gigabyte. I've heard Goo-Bile, I've heard Go-While, I've heard Goo-While, To-Wheel. I don't know, make up whatever you want, I guess. I still hear people calling Deutz Dukes. I don't understand that. It's not hard to say Deutz. I still hear people saying Sorghum. Why do you say Sorghum? There's no R. I would get it if there was an R in sorghum, but it was like silent. Then you kind of have a pass a little bit. Or if your English is not your first language, or whatever excuse maybe. But if you're just a normal English-speaking dude or girl and you can't say sorghum, I mean, kind of figure it out a little bit. Make an effort, you know. But I still hear sorghum being pronounced sorghum, and I just don't get it. It's almost like, why? I think people sometimes almost do it because they know it irritates other people. Now, I won't let on that it's irritating me, that it's bugging me, because one, I think it's kind of rude a little bit. I'm not into correcting people. I'll correct them behind their back. That's awful, isn't it? I'll correct them behind their backs before I correct them to their face. But don't make up, don't make up letters for words. Just, you know what the right, if you ask this person, okay, stop right there. What is the proper way to pronounce sorghum? And they will say, oh yeah, it's sorghum. But I say it's sorghum. Okay, so you don't mind if I just come up to you in the morning and say, hey, how's the cookie today? You think the cookie's gonna bring us rain? Or do you think the cookie, or do you think the cookie is gonna be sunny and full of chocolate? Can I just make up words too? Is that cool? I think maybe it was my time. Hey, don't take this wrong, but maybe it was my time in the great land of Canada where it seemed like, and maybe in general, elementary school many years ago, maybe just in general, maybe it wasn't country specific or region specific, it seemed like a lot more attention to detail was made. And there wasn't this, oh, Timmy doesn't like to say, sorghum. He likes to say sorghum, and that's okay. That's okay. Because Timmy has the right to say sorghum. That's his right. And maybe that's where we're at now, Maybe that's just how it is. I gotta find a windrow. I feel like I'm just driving around aimlessly. And it's not okay. No, it's not okay. We need to hold on to some things. The English language, for one thing, would be pleasant to hold on to. And I brought up Canada only because, talk about sticklers, man. Holy cow. And this was when I was just a little kid, too. It was like my second day of school, I think. And I I said, excuse me, and that was wrong. It's pardon. I still vividly remember my teacher looking down at me and go, excuse me, no, we say pardon. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, you know what was following up with that, but it's like I get some things are a little beyond and above, but maybe that's where I picked up my lack of, what's that word I'm looking for? Patience, understanding of the misuse of the English language. And I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong. If you all have listened to me here on this channel long enough, you know that I am definitely not perfect when it comes to this. But grammar-wise, I make a concerted effort. And I don't remember this being such a big deal as it is today, or it has been over the past several years. But there seems to be an issue with people figuring out see, saw, and seen, come, came, things like this. I seen the deer last night in the field. No, you didn't seen the deer. You saw the deer. He didn't come up over the hill. He came up over the hill, or he came over the hill. I don't think these things are difficult to figure out. And I thought it was a Michigan thing, because I don't remember hearing the misuse of these words so much as I do when I moved to Michigan. But then I was listening to, I don't know, I've heard people in other states use it, and it's just, it boggles my mind. I don't think that's a very difficult thing to say correctly and to figure out. But again, to each their own. I guess everybody gets the blue ribbon. Say it the way you want. But I think we're losing something when we're just okay with all of this, you know. I know, Brad. Gotta have something better to talk about than this, man. You know, dude, we're just here to farm, man. All right, we're just here to farm. That's all we're doing. You're talking about language and blah blah blah, man. We're just picking up straw, baby. That's all we're doing. I just turned the video on because I thought it'd be nice to see some old equipment working in the field. But here you are going off about sorghum and sorghum. Oh man. All right. Well, we got a few bucks. I feel like there was more on this field, but I guess that was kind of it. Unless I'm just missing it, which I normally end up doing anyways. But she's looking pretty cool. I think we're just going to turn right around and do straw again, if we can, or I don't know, we'll have to look at our calendar here and see what more we can do. Is straw one of those crops farmers generally rotate more than they... I should look and learn more about crop rotation. It seems like corn is... What is it? Is it pretty hard on nitrogen, if I remember correctly? Well, let's go see how Leroy is doing. Leroy, office manager over here, is doing with our weeding. Still putzing around. Excellent. Doing okay, buddy? Yeah, looks like he's doing all right. I should probably check the gas on that tractor. I don't think I've checked the fuel on that thing for a while. So we raked in a few $100s. Not too shabby. I think probably worth the effort. Look at, man, those ducks, they just make a beeline for this tractor. I don't understand it. All right, let's park up our wagon here. Oh, you want to be folded, see? Always forget to fold the stinking thing. All right, there you go. Now we do have silage fermenting too, so we've got some money coming in right here. But I'll tell you, when you play this hard mode, easy money is not easy like it is on easy mode or even normal. So you can't rely on simple stuff to kind of bump up your bank account a whole lot like you can on the easier modes, that's for sure. Let's take a quick peek at our calendar. Planting season for wheat, barley, grass. Okay. Corn is not till April and May. If we plant grass, if we plant wheat or barley, though, we're gonna miss corn harvest, corn planting, aren't we? So it looks like our choices are kind of limited. We either need to plant grass and make the best of it that we can, or just prep it and leave it till April. And that seems kind of a waste. So it seems like it would be a better alternative to plant grass. Grass doesn't grow over the winter. We may not get a full cut out of the grass, but we'll get something. We'll get something. At least we'll get something out. Seems a shame to leave it empty. So why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? Why don't we just do that? But we need to prep this field. Oh, sorry about that, Chief. We need to get this field cultivated, I do believe. Cultivators over here. Thank you very much. up. Probably limed up, maybe, I would think. Possibly even, oh, for sure fertilized up. Kind of the old school farming, without precision farming. Two layers of fertilization in between growth stages. The good old days. I actually forgot about the fast growth on plants. The way it used to be in 15, 17. I didn't play a lot of 19. Was it that way in 19? Where your crops would grow in like 2 days if you weren't using, well, I guess seasons. Unless you had a mod, like a seasons mod. But this is the first version for seasons being built in, isn't it? And this, I only thought about this when I was looking at Omatana's map, the hinterland, and then if you go out to her website, if you go out to her website, she has redone like Elm Creek, and she calls it Fast Creek, and basically it's identical to Elm Creek. The only difference is she has implemented the same growth schedule that was in Farming Simulator in previous versions. And I think she's done that for all 3 of the base game maps. I did not realize that. And she has 2 YouTube channels. Didn't realize that. I remember her YouTube channel where she speaks German. I don't think I realized she had an English speaking YouTube channel as well. But she does indeed. I really like her mods, and I really like her enthusiasm and stuff for the game. You can tell that she loves this game. You can tell that she enjoys playing it. She enjoys doing the mod stuff. And what I thought was kind of fun too is that she, I don't know, she just seems like she knows what she knows when it comes to modding and when it comes to making the maps and stuff. And she's happy with where she's at with that, you know. And I'm not saying that she's below the level of other modders in any way, because she's not. She's just like, she's okay to say, well, I was going to do this, but I really couldn't figure out how that worked. So, unfortunately, you know, this will be just the way it's going to happen, you know. And she's okay with that. Good for you. And it makes me check my thinking, because I don't know how old she is. I don't know anything about her, like, personally. But it threw me off to think that there was, because Oma, of course, is grandma or granny, you know, kind of thing. So I'm assuming she named herself that because she is a grandma. I don't know. But how many grandmas would you expect to be out there creating maps and mods for Farming Simulator? It's pretty unique. At least I think it is. And I love it. I think it's fantastic. And I've been looking very, very, very strongly at the hinterland for the next map on my channel after Kubota Farm, East Vineland, New Jersey. Open world or sandbox or wilderness maps, or, you know, kind of create your own fields and expansions and things have never really been my thing. In fact, I honestly don't think I've ever played that style of map. I'm pretty sure I have messed around with it, like just kind of, you know, spent a little time doing things here and there with that style of map, but I really have never, I'm pretty sure I have never really done like a really lengthy playthrough on that style of map. And it's just outside my comfort zone a little bit. I'm a little more comfortable with being given a map that has fields all ready to go, and you know, all your production facilities are in place and everything is there, your sell points, and just, you know what I'm saying, just it's a pre-populated, good to go map. You got contracts and all this stuff, and that's just always been kind of my comfort zone, I think. And I don't know how creative of a person I am. I don't know how creative of a person you really have to be. To get into these wilderness maps. But it is one that is certainly very, very much a contender for my next series. Every time I open it up and look at it, I get a little bit more curious and a little bit more interested in doing it, you know. I'm not particularly interested in, I guess you would say, like a standard survival series right now at this point. I feel like with the old family farm, I'm getting my old lower horsepower equipment fix. And I feel like with survival maps a lot of times, or if you do survival series, you know, you generally do start with smaller equipment, right? And oftentimes even older equipment that's cheap and affordable and stuff. And I'm not particularly sure I want to do another map particularly that way. But there's a lot of ways you can play these wilderness maps. And if that's the one I kind of decided to go with, I guess I just want to figure out how I want to play it, more or less, at that point. I think I'm just going to start doing the Zamboni style. Try to pick a row of stubble and stick to it. I think that would have been one of the harder things too, at least for me, with farming, would have been planting straight lines. Oh my gosh, that had to be a skill in and of itself. And I don't know when, what are those called? The deals that come out and leave a, are they row markers, or why am I getting a brain fart on that? You know what I'm talking about. The arms that come out and tell you where your next line is. I wonder when those were more or less brought into existence. And was that like a patented thing, or was that just something I gotta look into that. See, I'd be like Jeremy Clarkson with that too. Like he was using that for planting, and he couldn't see the line that it left in the soil because of the type of dirt he was in or whatever, and or was it because of it had something to do with either what the dirt was or whatever the ground cover was. He couldn't see the ridge markers. Oh, I'm so glad that came to me because that was really bugging me. He couldn't see the ridge marker lines, and Caleb comes along, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I honestly would have. I don't think I ever would have thought of it. And he comes along, and he's like, actually, yeah, they're really hard to see. So he came along with a cultivator and did this number and just did zigzags like this throughout the field and just kept doing S-shaped curves like that throughout the entire field. So when Jeremy was driving and the ridge markers would go through the easier part to spot, he could see the ridge marker line, you know. It wasn't constantly visible, but it was at least visible enough to where he could continue to pick up the line and keep his planting straight. I thought that was brilliant. I'm like, dude, that's probably one of the smarter things I saw Caleb do on that show. Now, I don't think he's an idiot by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought that was really a smart thing. I'm like, I am so jealous of that kid. So jealous of that kid. And it's not because he's on TV or anything like that. It's just his, you know, to be at his age, to have as much knowledge as he has in farming, and to have his own business going already with that, and just knowing that your future, unless the government completely screws it up, your future is farming, and that's what you're gonna do, and you love it. And I'm super jealous of that. I think that's something I wish I would have been born into. Oftentimes wish I would have been born into a farming family. I'm sure it definitely has its drawbacks, and who knows, if I would have been born into a farming family, maybe I would have grown up to learn to hate stinking farming, and I would want to do something else. I don't know. People are fickle. Our brains are weird. So who knows? But if I could, I think, you know, if I could do something right now, if somebody said to me, "Hey man, you know, name it," farming would be way up there on the list if my body could handle it. Farming would be way up there on the list. I feel like, you know, you get the genie with the wishes, you know, you get 3 wishes. So I'd be like, my first wish is I want to be a farmer. And the genie would be a real dick and would put me out on some farm where, you know, you can only use oxen and plows that are pulled by them, and you know, it would end up being something like that. I wouldn't be lucky enough to end up on some farm where they're using new equipment with air conditioning and all these wonderful cabs and you know, the radio and all this stuff. Nah, the genie would just pull a fast one on me and send me off to some horrible hell on earth farm. That'd be my luck, probably, you know. I'd have to be super specific about my wishes. One of my more favorite X-File episodes, in fact, is the X-Files with the genie. She is amazing on there, and just that whole episode is pretty funny. It's got a lot of good parts to it. The guy, and is it fair being a spoiler? I mean, the show is 40 years old now, right? Which is crazy. Well, maybe 30 years old at least. So I can't really be too spoilerish, right? But the guy wishes himself to be invisible, which she grants him. I refuse to miss that spot right there. Which she grants him, mind you. And then the idiot runs out because he's invisible. You know, he does what, well, most guys would do. You know, you think of the stupid things you do, like sneak into women's locker rooms or whatever, go rob a bank, you know, do all that fun stuff, and the idiot ends up getting hit by a truck crossing the street because you're invisible, people can't see you. In other words, cars aren't going to stop for you, and just gets absolutely wrecked. Oh, it's just such a great episode. Such a great episode. I can't believe how long ago the X-Files was. It seems so crazy to me. And that was one show. There's not a lot of shows I can claim that I started watching at the very beginning all the way through to the end. The X-Files was definitely one of those shows where it took me a while and some convincing by other people that I should be watching this show, you know. So I forget when I picked it up and started watching it, but once I did, I pretty much was a diehard every week X-Files person. Some of it seems a little silly by today's standards. I go back and rewatch a lot of episodes, and some of them are a little bit goofy, I guess you might say, by today's standards, but a lot of them still hold up really, really well. A lot of them are pretty creepy. For me, easily the creepiest one for me is that dude that collected fingernails and hair from women and stuff, and worked in a funeral home. That dude's just creepy. He was just freaking creepy. And then the other dude that creeped me out was that Slither dude. There were 2 episodes with him actually, because he ended up breaking out of his deal. I forget what his name was now, but he was like every 30 years or something he had to feed on livers. Yeah, that dude was creepy too, man. The Smoking Man. How they couldn't use Marlboros for a brand name. But you can clearly tell they like Marlboro cigarettes. Classic. And people get mad at Lost for how like it went the last few seasons. But the X-Files didn't exactly, you know, wrap things up in a pretty bow either, as far as what I remember and stuff. So, I don't know, it's hard. I think sometimes it's better just to leave things to your imagination. Let it go with that. But that show has got to be one of the main reasons a lot of people got into UFOs. You know, specifically, you know, and stuff. It has to be. What did I miss? I missed something over here. Yeah, we'll go pick this up real quick. I think I missed. I don't know if I missed that or if that's just a tweak in the field. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna guess our AI buddy is done by now. Face the right way. There we go. rich old family farm soil. Doesn't it look like, it legit looks like some pretty stinking good soil actually. Nice dark, moist, enriched soil. And the Massey just keeps getting it. So yeah, I don't know what y'all think about the Gigabyte pack. I mean, I think it is what we kind of expected, right? For the first one. We pretty much knew it was going to be some kind of baling stuff because of the corn bale thing. I don't know that it's much of a huge surprise. I didn't look super close at what's going to be included. I kind of glanced over the stuff a bit, but I think it's $8.99, which I thought was okay, you know, reasonable for what it is. And I always forget that, like I think, well, we've had Gigabyte in Farming Simulator, but I always forget that there's oftentimes, you know, that gap between PC and console where console players don't get the brand names the way PC players do. So oftentimes I'll be like, not a new name really to the game, but I forget that's not necessarily true, that is technically, you know, at least it's going to be a usable trademark name now in the game for consoles, so that you all don't just get Blizzard brand, but you get another trademark name or a real company name added to the list. I always love that last little bit. That last little bit. Oh yeah, get it. Those low gears. Let's go check up on our hired helper, make sure that he did an okay job for us. I think this field's looking pretty tidy. I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Oh, yep, he's gone. He took off. Looks like he did a pretty good job. Let's check our deal here real quick and see. Weeds. Oh yeah, good deal. All right. Well, let's pay him our promised $100. Move $100 from our bank account to pay him off for doing the field for us. We can get rid of our Courseplay there. Probably have a little bit of maintenance to do on these tractors and implements. Probably could wash them up a little bit and get them cleaned up before winter. That may not be the worst idea. Of course, I parked the John Deere right in the way, as I always seem to do. Let's check out the Ford real quick and see. I think one of these tractors don't seem to ever need much. $7 isn't bad. A couple dollars for the weeder. Can handle that. Oh, I always hit that wrong button. There we go. I don't know. Getting this thing washed up, it might look a little too nice. Duck's running for his life. You shouldn't mind getting wet. You guys are stinking ducks. In fact, what are you doing over here? There's a pond right over there you could be swimming in. I don't understand these ducks. Oh, look at her. She's looking nice right there. Nice and tidy. What about you, Mr. John Deere? Let's clean you up a little bit. Get that engine clean so we can spot leaks. Oh, John Deere's never leak. They seep. That's a sign of a good engine. It doesn't leak, it just seeps. Let's get our Massey over there. Join the parade here. So I think we're going to end up, yeah, I think it's a good game plan. I think it'd be a good route to take, get our money, get some money in the bank so we can afford that second farm. I'm gonna kind of assume they'll create wool for us. I don't really know where in the world. So at the hay barn and the railroad, we can sell wool. So yeah, I'm gonna assume they'll produce wool like sheep on other sheep on other maps do. They're more kind of goats. So maybe milk. Some goat milk? I don't think I've watched the map. Whoa, that one, that one's hauling it. Oh, it's amazing. I don't think I've watched the Massey since we got it. Ooh, man, that red is just pretty. Look at that. Get my seat washed off there. Have a little accident once in a while. It's good to have vinyl seats so you can get those cleaned off nice and easy. What's our 17 bucks? Nothing on the cultivator. I think we're good to go. I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I think we've got a little bit more work to do here in October, and then we'll be moving on. And we'll have to check and see November sales. Hopefully there's a couple things we can earn some money with. Our silage will be ready. I might fast forward time a little bit and see if we can get our silage in here in October. I don't know if it matters though, if we need to worry about that or not. When is silage due for sales? Wheat, corn, potatoes, milk, grass, silage, diesel, silage. There you are. December. Okay. So we've got time. We can deal with silage next in November. That won't be a big deal. Ladies are doing the eggs up right. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate that. Appreciate all your hard work there. And I don't think this is going to be advanced too far. Fermenting silage, 100%? What? Really? It is ready. Holy smokes. Okay. Well, then we'll take care of that. We'll get that done too. Well, thanks everyone. I appreciate you joining me again here on the Old Family Farm. As always, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe, of course, if you want to. We'll be back in East Vineland tomorrow, Friday, to wrap up the week. So nice to have the week being wrapped up, isn't it? And yeah, take care of yourselves. Make sure and take care of people around you. And thanks again. I'll see you guys real soon. And bye for now.